I mean, sky's the limit. It's just you got to sit back and really pay attention and learn about your audience. I think that's the
Yeah.
most important thing because people want to tap into everything, but there's no there's no end goal
Yeah.
in what they want to go.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Success by Design with yours truly, Michael, and we are here with the amazing Will Cadena. Let me tell you about this guy. I was just looking him up and just a jack of all trades. Headshots, weddings, commercial, videography, the list goes on. And my favorite, he is a master of off-camera flash. I love off-camera flash. I'm a sucker for it. I am excited to chat with you, Will. Will, welcome. Go ahead. Tell everyone about yourself.
Woo! What an introduction, man! Come on. By the way, I love your energy, Michael. I mean, that's how this is what it's about. Having these conversations with people like yourself. Just myself, I'm based out of New York City, Manhattan. I'm a commercial advertising photographer. We also do several different divisions. We do weddings. We do corporate America. We do family portraits. We also part of one of the largest bodybuilding leagues in the industry, which is pretty wild. So, and it's not just me. I have amazing team members, and I'm honored to be here with you and with Fundy. So, yeah, let's get this going. What kind of questions are we going
That's
to be
exciting. You know what? When I saw the bodybuilding stuff, I was like, what? I was like, he does bodybuilding too? I
Oh my
literally
God,
had to
yeah.
Google what NPC was because I was like, what is this? And I was like, he does bodybuilding? And you know what? And that
It's
sounds
crazy.
like just a jack of all trades because I've never, I don't know anyone who does everything well. You know, in this industry, we talk about niching down and all those things
Yeah.
and focusing on one thing. And you have found a way to do everything really well. And it looks clean and consistent. And what is your secret, dude?
There's no secret. It's funny that you bring that up regarding, versatility. I actually taught a workshop, I think it was last year, is versatility is the new niche. So, as growing up in this industry, you have to do one. You have to do one. Yeah, but why? Why do you have to do one? So, as we know, there's a lot of people that speak about what they used to do during back in the day. Is if we did not learn anything during COVID, we weren't paying attention. So that gave us even more reason to think outside the box. So I always done corporate America, family shoots and stuff like that. So we couldn't travel anymore globally. So this whole bodybuilding opportunity came in hands. And we just took it. We took it with the storm. And exactly what we do with the weddings and family portraits, headshots, we do the same exact thing in the NPC, in the bodybuilding world. And it's just a different platform. It's no different from weddings. You have these amazing resources of the amount of people that go to a wedding, which you could tap into so many different avenues that majority of people don't do. And that's one thing I love to teach about is business. How can you tap into those circles? So, and yeah, and realistically, I use Fundy for a lot of that, believe it or not. So, which is crazy. Never thought I'd be using it for the wall art pieces, for the albums, even for the social media parts for my clients, which is pretty wild. So,
Got you. I love it. I love it. So I want to rewind a bit because you talked about how you got into the bodybuilding piece, but let's start from the beginning. How did you start? Talk about your intro into photography to how you got to where you are now.
yeah, so when I was 13 years old, I'm 39 now. 13 years old, got into the business through my uncle's wedding and portrait company in Brooklyn, New York, and Manhattan. And I just learned the trade. I learned how to be a bag holder, learn how to clean the cameras, film cameras, and gradually I graduated into being a light assistant. And this is why I became more of a more I fell in love with lighting because no one realized that holding a double light plays a very big part. Is that you're moving studio, and gradually I started growing up in that circle. Then I started shooting medium format Hasselblad, which was awesome. But just like anything else, you kind of get bored and it gets repetitive when you're doing weddings. And I have another uncle. He's a commercial fashion photographer, and he was based out of South America, Colombia. And he was like, "Why don't you just come down? Why don't you come and just learn and see what we do?" And I went down there and didn't know what I was getting myself into. So again, he did only commercial fashion photography. So a majority of the shoots that he did was kind of like shooting for like Victoria's Secret, but for down there. So imagine being about 15 years old, 16 years old, going through puberty. You know, oh my God.
Every boy's dream, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it was crazy because my uncle, I have my uncle in Colombia. He likes to have a good time. He loves to laugh. And if you ever come out in the field with him, I love to just have a really good time. And he really showed me how to shoot in camera. And there was one night that I did a campaign shoot, and he was like, "Why are you up in 2 in the morning on your computer, retouching, enhancing these images?" And I was like, "It has to look good." I'm like, he's like, "Do it in camera."
Mm.
And I was like, shit, I'm like, do it in camera. I'm like, yeah, but it couldn't enhance it. I'm like, he goes, do it in camera. You should not be fixing your work if you do it in camera. And that's one thing with him. He always shot everything in camera. And when it popped up on the screens at the time, because he was also making a transition from medium format to digital format. And I was like, oh my God, it looked fake. It looked like it was Photoshop. So a lot of the work that you guys see out there, I say 90 to 95% of that is in camera. And there's nothing wrong about retouching and enhancing your images and stuff like that. But if you have to fix it in post, that means you're not doing something correctly on site. So yeah, and from there I just took it. I took that style, that look back into New York and different states, and I went with it. So I got involved with commercial work, family shots, you name it. So that's really more a little bit of my history. Obviously, there's a
Okay.
lot more to it than that, but yeah, it's been a long time in this business, and I've seen the transition, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
You
that's
know,
really it.
you said some really key things in there. One, you started out like holding bags and being a lighting assistant, and I can't stress that enough. When people ask me like, "Oh, how do I get into wedding photography and this that?" I'm just like, ask to hold someone's lights. I was
It's
like, go
not even
go
just
and
go hold the
tag
bag,
along. Yeah,
go
it's
be
like
on.
just
Yeah,
watch. You
and
know?
that's the biggest thing. I'm like, I mean, you know this, just like anything else when you learn, you're not gonna start doing is it, all right. You want to fly a plane? You're not gonna get in a cockpit and start flying the plane. It just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want someone, let's say you have family member going through a surgery. Do you want someone to come and play surgeon for the first day? No, it's not right. The thing is, we kind of somewhat abuse it because you take a picture and you see the image right then
Yeah.
and there, and
Yep.
that's it. And that's not being responsible, especially if you want
Ooh.
someone or a company taking you seriously. Because at the end of the day, you need to back up. Still to this day, believe it or not, I still go to workshops. I still pay full price,
Mm-hmm.
and also I do go and assist. I do go just help in some way or another because when you have this camera, maybe believe this is a camera. I go, maybe believe this camera. Even though I'm sure, yeah, yes, I'm a West Coast ambassador, but maybe believe this is a camera, and this is in front of your face. You're not you go into like tunnel vision.
Yep.
So you don't realize what's around you. And Michael, I'm sure you know this. Beyond, like,
Yep.
exactly what you're doing right now. I'm sure you saw a lot of interviews and you learned from that and you paid attention and then you slowly got into it. But it's baby steps. People want to start running before they start crawling.
Yep.
So
And I love how you said that key word, responsibility. Like you have to be responsible not only for the craft, but for the camera and for your client. And transitioning that, another gem that you talked about was getting it right in camera. Like I started out in film. And so like I remember that I was taking photos and I had a little notepad and I would like write down all my shutters and like all my
yeah,
settings. Yep, right? And then I sent it out to get processed. And this was in like 2008, 2009, right? I was still like, using a film camera.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I would get it back. I'm like, okay, this didn't work out because of that, blah, blah. And so when I got a digital camera, everything just made sense. And I love like that responsibility of, hey, let's work on getting it right in camera because so many people spend time right in Lightroom or Photoshop trying to doctor the things up. And one of the things that I stress, and I'm pretty sure you do as well because you have a whole team, is being more present for yourself and your life and your family and not in front of your computer.
Correct. So that's a big factor. So, question for you. So, when you were taking those pictures, when you were how many hours or how many days did you actually see those photographs when you
What
got
do you
them
mean?
printed? So, when you shot film,
Uh-huh.
right? How many what was the turnaround time when you actually saw those images? When you
Oh, it was like maybe 3 weeks.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So that means in those 3 weeks, if you missed that shot, what would happen? You missed the opportunity. Whether it was a sunset, whether it was an
Yeah.
animal you're shooting, you cannot go back. So
Mm-hmm.
you had to really learn it and dial it in dramatically and using that book. And
Yep.
that's the part. The thing is, we get so used to shooting, like, all right, I'll fix it later. you're not focusing on that particular thing. So I'm,
Yes.
I'm happy that you went through that experience because many people don't.
I know.
So many people don't. A lot of people that we bring in to work with us and to intern to see, they haven't went through that experience.
Hmm.
So that's really cool, man.
And
That's
that's the
actually that's a gift. Think about it.
yes,
That's a gift.
and that goes
That's,
back to that responsibility that you were talking about. So another question for you. We talked about the fact that you shoot almost everything. The only thing I didn't see on there were babies, right? Talking about
we know.
bar mitzvahs, commercials, branding. So I would
Yeah.
love for you to tell us about like your memorable or challenging photo session that you had and how you overcame that.
Oh my God. There's so many, so freaking many. Yeah, I don't shoot babies. I don't promote it. And if I do, it's like a courtesy for a client. And I barely even charge her. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm like, this is who I recommend. This is where you should go. And they still like, no, no, we want you. And because we become really the family photographer, family studio. I think the most challenging part, I think we just had a client that tried to dictate everything in our studio. They we call them like more like what's it called, the Eagles. They just
Yeah.
they out of nowhere they just try to dictate everything and change your format. I think realistically it wasn't the shooting part of it, just the whole process behind it. We just wanted to get out of that get out of that relationship.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you sign a contract in line and you can't really technically fire your client unless you go into legal things. So at that point, it's like you try to get as much as you can done fast, and we're
Yeah.
very fast in what we do. But it just one of the biggest lessons: don't let a client dictate and how to run your business, because you wouldn't be where you are today if that was the case for every single thing. For
Yes.
obviously take the feedback and really narrow it down to see how you could adjust, but yeah, I think that's a very general question, man. It's hard to answer that, but
I mean,
yeah,
you did great. And
yeah,
so my follow question to that is, I know a lot of people have trouble like saying no to that client or pushing back or standing their ground. And you're great at that. But how do you train your team to be great at that as well?
yeah. So we actually don't anyone that deals with anything with sales. We don't bring any photographers to do sales for us. We just don't. we
Okay.
actually bring we actually bring in like real estate people to come and sell for us,
Love
and
it.
that's the key factor because as we know, artists, majority of artists, I'm not saying all, they're not great at selling. And like I'm one of the prime examples of that. I always hate selling, but I fell in love with business about 8 years ago. As for photographing on site and stuff like that, we train people from the bottom up. I don't personally care how long you've been doing it, but for us to sell something to be consistent, you have to learn our format. And obviously, no, we're not gonna have a Will 2 or Will 3 or a Joey 2 because we have other team members that shoot for us. There's bread and butter shots that you need to get and the certain look you get, and from there you could be creative, get whatever you want, but you have to follow that format. So it's just a lot of training. We do trainings easily once a week, once a month, and it could be anywhere between 6 hours to 8 hours when we can, whether it's on Zoom, whether we send out PDF, whether we go on site. And we actually put them in scenarios where we make things complicated. We may believe we're the event planner or we're the clients and put them in that pressure.
Oh, I love it.
So, because it's true, because anyone is a photographer, anyone could shoot anything really cool, but when you're under that time crunch, that's a whole different ball.
Oh yeah.
As you know.
No,
So,
for sure, for sure.
yeah,
I love it, and I feel like everything that we're talking about comes back to that central theme about being responsible. Like
right.
I love how you led with that, and I can see it weaving through your business, like you being intentional about like not hiring photographers to do your sales, but hiring salespeople, like real estate people who do this for a living. Being responsible and training people from the ground up and putting them through these scenarios, so that when they're actually on the day, it's like, oh, like I've done this, I know how to do this, like that people talk about responsibility, but you're like demonstrating it in your business and showing what it looks like. And it's not just a word, but it's a lifestyle. I love it, man.
It's like, what? So time out. Even though I know this is an interview with me, but what was your toughest client? Because I'm curious to hear about this.
Oh man. So I actually had a bride, who did not try on her dress before her wedding day.
Surprise.
Yes. And so she put it on during the wedding day. It did not fit. She was able to like squeeze into it, but she had this condition where if she starts throwing up, then she continues throwing up the entire day. So she made it through the ceremony.
Oh,
After the ceremony, she had to undo her dress to breathe because everything was just like constrained. She ate dinner and then just started like just throwing up. Right. It was like she went home. She went home. The groom stayed. The groom stayed. Right. So she went home, and I've never seen a bride leave her wedding. Like it was bad. Like it was bad. Her bridesmaids took her home. The groom came back. The groom partied the entire night, and I was just like, this is just really weird. This is really awkward, right?
he's like, this is normal. This is fine.
Yeah, and so what happens, and like when one thing goes wrong, it just like spirals, and then after the wedding day, they find like all the other things, and they start complaining, and so I was one of the people. They were like, well, we didn't. Well, what about this shot, and what about this shot, and and you said you were gonna do this, and I was going, and I'm like, yo, you guys left, like. I'm like, you guys left. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Like, And so it was actually the first time that I actually had to get my lawyer involved to be like, hey, can you like draft this, this thing about, the images, and this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. And so, I mean, everything was fine. But it was one of those things I'm just like, I've seen crazy stuff, but I've never seen anything that crazy. And like you said, when one thing happens, it spirals and spirals and spirals. And then people have a sour taste of their wedding day and want to take it out on everybody and try to
Yeah.
recoup as much money as they can because they didn't have a good experience. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm not one of those people. No, thank you. No, thank you.
So that's now in your cause, in your agreement. That's freaking.
Yep. It was, yeah. We'll never forget that wedding.
So when you
Never.
interview your clients, you're like, all right, listen, do you have a vomiting issue? Like, I would. That's the kind of person. That's what I
Listen,
would. I'm like,
listen. And I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know like people like had that condition.
yeah,
But it was just like, okay, try on your dress before your wedding day. Like make sure everything like works out. So
it's kind of like don't drink the battery fluid. Like,
it was crazy. It was crazy. No, but no, I mean, and that's the thing is that it is, going back to that responsibilities, like
exactly.
how do we prepare and solve these problems? And I think it comes with experience, right? And
Yeah,
one of the beautiful things about talking to people like you is seeing like what that experience looks like in real time. And so many people take workshops and classes and things about, oh, how do I get better photographer? How do I get better at lighting? But they're not paying attention to how do I become a better business person? How do I become a better person overall in dealing with clients and troubleshooting situations and all, because this is the ugly stuff, right? This is the
yeah,
stuff that like no one wants to deal with until we have to deal with it. And
yeah.
so, when you're
Like
talking
taxes.
about,
It's like taxes.
yes, exactly. Exactly. And so when you were talking about like you prepare your the people who work with you, and I was like, that is genius. Like to put them in these hard situations, like the wedding planner yelling at you and blah 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 blah.
we got the hose spraying water on them.
Right? I love it. I love it.
You
I love
have
it.
you have to prepare, man. It doesn't, like we have one of our guys, Charles King, amazing, talented photographer, live streamer, videographer, but he does a lot of our live streaming for the bodybuilding shows, and that's the thing is like bringing someone like anyone could live stream, but is 99.9% is straightforward, but is that 1% when all fails,
Yep.
internet goes down, how do you deal with it? What do you
Yep.
work with? So we have a backup for a backup for a backup
Mhm.
because now globally we have people watching these shows.
Mhm.
And true story, it was last year we did one of the biggest shows in the world besides Olympia. Olympia is kind of like the Olympics, and the one before that is kind of like the playoffs. Let's put it that way. And the internet went down for not. It wasn't even us. Someone pulled, I think, a power or the flick. I don't know. It wasn't even our end, but it went down for like 14 seconds. And
Mhm.
when it went down, and obviously we got it back going, But the amount of emails and phone calls we got globally at
Oh
that very moment in
man.
time and dealing with, and we had customer service, but we had customer service to that tier. So it was a learning experience. So this year when we're doing this other show, now we're like, okay, we're gonna have more hands on deck. But it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
preparing, and sometimes you got to go through the crap in order to get better. But you don't want to go through expensive crap like
Sure, for
not paying your
sure.
taxes.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. So
I love
yeah,
it.
responsibility.
Yeah, so I want to transition into, we talked about the amazing work, your amazing clients, how responsible you are as an entrepreneur and business owner. How does all of this transition into using Fundy and you being able to make more profit and more sales with all the clients that you work with? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So when did I meet Andrew? I think it was back in 2014 or 15. I started hear the brand more, and we actually met uh, this conference that we spoke up in upstate New York in the middle of nowhere. And thank God that worked out because we actually took the time to really get to know each other. And he really took the time to educate us on on the software. And not even only the software, but just the culture, the community, the family. And as you know, they're like the Google of in our industry. We always
Yeah.
have a freaking good time and whatever. And one thing led to another. And I was the studio that designed all the albums through Photoshop. It took excruciating pain to get this done, and the clients go back and forth. So yes, we use Fundy. Everyone knows what Fundy is. If you don't, look at it, like cut the crap. Like you haven't been in the game. Like so, if you want to make money, this is how you're gonna help you make money. It's one of the many elements in this industry that you should be using. It's gonna save you so much time. We use it for albums. We do it for online sales, especially that have clients not only domestically but globally as well. Um, Here's a prime example. During the pandemic, we were home. We couldn't see clients. We couldn't go into the offices. So what do we do? So we had to obviously for a month we finished watching Netflix, and after that we had to get back on the game. Like
Yep.
what can we do? So we really took advantage of selling wall art pieces using Fundy. And so since then, we've been really embracing the wall art option to sell pieces on there. If you guys don't know, but you could take a picture with like a loose leaf paper, a printing paper, tell them to put it on the wall, and take a picture of it. You superimpose their images in there, and they get to visually see it. Let them know about the pricing way beforehand, and that's really it. And then you could upsell them from there. And so we've been using that, and slowly we've been kind of tapping into the new app for social media because I'm not really that active, but I need to start being more active. So now we're kind of training someone on our team to really kind of start pushing things out for social media. But we're probably gonna be using it more for the bodybuilding stuff than anything else because
Okay.
my other divisions, from corporate America, they don't find us on social media. So for the bodybuilding stuff, it's becoming really active on social media. So we're gonna be using that, creating cool carousels, creating cool designs. So we're really gonna be embracing that part of it. But yeah, I mean, it's I like to make money. Who doesn't like to make money?
Yeah.
Buy toys, buy gear. If you want to take your family out, take your wife to your spouse or your mistress to a dinner, awesome. This is
Yeah.
how you're gonna make extra money.
Yep.
So
No, for
whatever it is.
sure. And so,
So
and I know before we popped on, you were saying that you actually use Funny for the bodybuilding part. I'm interested to know more about it because the reason why I asked is because so many people, it's easy to conceptualize families and weddings. It's harder to conceptualize headshot and commercial and bodybuilding of all things. So like how do you transition, taking that picture into additional sales with those types of clients?
it's again we're just in general people are visual. So when it comes to like for example, let's just use the fitness. We're gonna be using the fitness really to really pre-design albums on top of that. Now the question is like, why would a competitor want albums? It doesn't make any sense. If you don't know that circle, they are crazy. They are mentally something wrong with them, every way possible. My wife is a competitor. I love her to death, but she's on an off season, but they get into the zone that it's all about, parts of their body and the muscles and all that. So it's kind of like a boudoir session. Think about
Yeah.
it that way. So we could do
Okay.
food that way. Also, we could do the shots that we do during the day of during the show. So we're gonna be doing stuff like that, but we're also gonna be selling them on kind of like social media posts as well. We'll create some cool slides for them so they could share it. Because as we know, well, let me take a step back. Many don't know. Many out there don't know how to really use social media, or they want to get involved. And what I do a lot during the week when I work with some of these branding companies, like I'm not going to name drop, but you guys can check it out on our website. But we create a lot of brand marketing images and also video for our clients. So some of these competitors, as for example, we use them for an example. You could use this for real estate agents. You could use this for, I don't know. You could use it for anyone that they want to create social media posts for the businesses. So, for example, if a fitness competitor or a coach, they want pictures of them. They want to showcase what they do. Maybe some kind of workout sessions or reps. So, I mean, sky's the limit. Same thing with real estate. You could do the same thing. But, I mean, sky's the limit. It's just you got to sit back and really pay attention and learn about your audience. I think that's the most important thing. Because people want to tap into everything, but there's no end goal in what they want to go. So, hopefully that makes sense. I know there's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I think one of the beautiful things when you talk about this, the social media part of the fitness, one of the newer features that's coming out soon with the social design app is the ability to incorporate video, so that you can have actually photos and videos inside of the same carousel. And I think that like that, and especially since you do like live streaming and video, I was like, that's going to be a game changer for the fitness people that you're trying to give this to.
So the thing is, we shoot the stage shots. So when the competitor's on stage, we shoot them for still photography, and then we also have videographers that capture their performances on there, which is awesome because the goal is to take both of them and intertwine them or let them merge together in some way or another and have that like an upselling point. Whether you charge a low fee or a high fee, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's going to be all profit because you already did the work. It's the same thing when you do a real estate or family shots. If you do a family session, it's the same idea. Still get the shots, turn your camera on to video mode, capture some emotion, squeeze in. Guys, squeeze in nice and close. I want to feel the love. Put that in there. And guarantee you, families will buy that. Guarantee you. That's an easy sell. The thing is learning how to shoot video and photography at the same time. And you have to train your mind.
Yeah.
I never used to shoot video until maybe about a year and a half ago. So, which is great, and I've been really applying it, and it's been a game changer. It really is. So anyone take advantage of that, especially with the new social app. It's going to be like a game changer in every way possible. So
gotcha. I love it. So I have two more questions for this part, and then we're going to enter my favorite segment, which is the rapid fire section.
What is it?
It's the rapid fire section. So I have two more questions for you, and then we're going to do rapid fire, right? So the next one is, who has been your greatest influencer or mentor in the industry, and what valuable lessons have you learned that you want to share with us?
Dude, that's hard, and you're putting me on the spot because you know. All right, I don't have favorites. Just in general, just in food, color. So for me is, I learn from everyone. It doesn't matter at what level, what tier you are in life. There's always something to learn, whether you're a student, whether you're an educator or teacher, because just taking a step back and just taking bits and pieces and applying it into your workflow, your style, your life. So for me, it's been, there's amazingly talented people out there, and I'm sorry I can't give you a direct answer.
No, you're fine. I mean, that's a good answer.
It really is. I'm just very grateful that I'm around people, proximity, like around positive, amazing people. And yes, you're always going to find those people that are not that supportive, and that's understandable because that's how life is. But when you start realizing, you know what, those people they're not helping you grow, and they're not helping rise the industry, whether it's the photography industry, whether it's your home, that's when you have to start realizing, you know what, it's toxic, and just move away because we all have those people. But so for me I'm grateful. That's a hard answer, so hopefully that's it.
No, I mean, I think you answered it. I think the biggest takeaway I got from that is, surrounding yourself around a lot of people so that you can understand who are the people that are for you, who are the people that are toxic.
Yeah, and you don't have to have a lot of people. Like,
yeah,
you can have
of course.
One hand. Like, that's all you really need, or one person. So, but yeah, just being very mindful, just like, beginning with the end in mind. What's your goal?
Yeah.
So,
I love it. I love it.
I feel like these days instead of going out so much, I like to be home and with the family, just relax. Like that's instead of going out partying and drinking and which I used to do, which that yeah. So
Got it. So, final question before we wrap up to the rapid fire is, what advice would you give to any aspiring wedding portrait commercial photographer out there, who is like, I want to get to that next level. I want to be like you. What advice would you have for them?
that's there's a lot of information out there on Google and in the world. There's a lot of bad information out there. So there's nothing wrong about taking it in, but being open minded. And even though this is gonna sound very harsh, learn how to just shut up. Like just stop
Mm,
talking, listen. I think that's the biggest thing, and you'll learn that down the line, especially when it comes to clients. They're paying you, so you just sit back and just listen to what they want. And people will spill the beans in what they want, but it's just asking the right questions. So for it could be that, or if you really want to focus on how to be a better photographer or a poser or lighting, go assist. Do your due diligence. Do the homework. Reach out. If you're gonna send out 100 emails to so many other studios, you might get maybe one or two responses back. And if you do, don't mess that opportunity up. Don't let ego get in the way of it. And we see a lot of that in the industry, just in generally. But we all go through a phase. I went through my phase when I was younger. Like I thought I knew it all and stuff like
yeah,
that. But eventually, it catches up, and you realize, you know what? Step back and just learn. Be open minded and take in as much as possible. Because if someone's willing to share knowledge with you, or give you the time of day, you should really take that in and just sit back and just embrace it and ask
I love it.
questions. But be responsible, be respectful, and just enjoy the ride. So
I love
that's
it. I love it. And you know what? The key that I took away with, because I tell people all this time, is to listen, to actually actively listen and not listen to respond. Right? Like just like take it in and see what they're saying and pay attention to conversation, because you're right. People will give you the answers if you ask the right questions. You don't know the right questions to ask if you're not paying attention. If you're
exactly
always thinking of like, oh, what is my rebuttal? How do I respond to this? How do I one up them or show? Like, just like you said, sit back, shut up, and listen.
that's it. And yeah, and think about it. I mean, again, if you're not a social person in that way, and like there's, I'm sure there's different parts. Like you're an introvert, you're social. I'm like a social introvert. And there's times that I like to be around people, and there's times that I need to get away. Like I need to just, and
For
there's
sure.
people that they don't know how to be social, and it's okay. But especially if you're in this industry, you have to step up the game a little bit more to be social, to build relationships. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter in photography, video, in general. You need to build. If you're out there offering a service, you have to build relationships. That's what it is. If not, then you can't get into this industry if you're not willing to do that. Or still do that, but hire people to do that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Going back to
But
that responsibility part. See, I told you, full circle.
it
Full
always comes
circle.
back. It always comes back.
Always comes back. All right. So this is
Yeah.
my favorite segment of the interview is the rapid fire. So these
That's
are
right. What's up? What-
so these are both photography related questions and non-photography related questions, and we're just looking for quick answers. All right, you ready? You ready?
Well, how
All
quick
right.
are these answers? Like,
First thing that comes to your mind. First thing that comes to your mind. All
here
right.
you go.
So, first one. What is your favorite show to binge?
Netflix. There's no show. It's shows in general. So Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite photographer other than yourself?
Jerry Guionis.
Okay. Awesome. Your favorite self-reward?
Food or like what? Like having my me time. Like
Oh,
me time only. That's it.
okay. Your dream shoot location?
These are hard questions. Probably Iceland, because I'm going to Iceland in the next few weeks. So I've never been there. So awesome. Because a lot of the dream ones I already shot already. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And the last one, craziest thing you've ever been asked to photograph?
I have NDAs. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's put it this way. Dungeon.
Okay, there we go.
I had to be blindfolded to get there, and I had a new assistant. And let's put it this way. That was the assistant's last job.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
He said dungeon, blindfold, and I've never seen this assistant ever again.
Yeah, we were blindfolded to get to that location. So but yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that's what you're gonna get from me for that. But yeah, that was probably the craziest. But
I love it. I love it. Well, you've been absolutely amazing. So I want to give you time to just, anything that you want to share. How can people find you? How can people follow you? How can people work with you? I just want to give you, a minute or two. The floor is yours, man.
just follow me on Instagram. That's the best way of probably seeing what we're doing. Will Cadena. That's it. WILLCADENA. If you guys want to come to workshops or anything at all, check us out at WPPI. We're always there. If you guys want to do a retreat, we're doing a retreat in Iceland in the next few weeks. Excuse me, I just burped. Woof, I'm a monster. Bad idea. Make sure you leave that part in. It was awesome. Yeah, just follow us and you get to see exactly what we're doing. If you guys ever come out to New York, if you feel like you want to come and assist and check out what we do, more than welcome to reach out. But again, as I mentioned before during this conversation, responsibility, listen, pay attention, and that's all. But guys, thank you so much. Michael, thank you for doing this. Fundy, Andrew, I miss you, man. It's been a while. Jonathan and the rest of the team, we just appreciate you guys. We appreciate you for what you guys do for us. So love you guys.
I love it. I love it. So thank you again, Will. You've been absolutely amazing. You dropped so many gems. So if this is the first time that you're hearing Will speak, you need to rewatch this again. There's so many gems in here. You need to go find him in person. Like I said, go to WPPI, go to the workshops. He just has nuggets of information. And I promise you, maybe not so much that he won't blindfold you while he gives you the information. All right, well, you've been awesome. All right, till next time, man.
Take it easy. Bye.